Amateur Radio Club is called to order. These distinguished gentlemen are the club leaders. And just so we know who everybody is, who's here today? I'm here, Brad is here, Mike is on his way here, Bob is here, Reuven is probably putting the kids to bed, Hugh is here, and of course, Len.
Mike is here now.
Now, somebody just, oh, Mike, look at that. You know,
hey guys,
all I had to do was say your name and you just appeared. And this is no lie. I just said
poof.
Mike and poof, and there you are. All right, excellent. Well, your timing is exceptional. And I just want to remind everybody that we need 4 people. We do have 4 people, 4 board members, I should say, for a quorum, which is the minimum acceptable number of board members. Okay, now I would like to update this chart here, but not right now. But let's just look at March for a second. I know February, I know, Bob, you said the budget's not quite on that schedule here. Oh.
You got March circled.
All right, I see. Okay, so we got that. We know that. All right, so this, you can see this chart, you know, Murray's board task list. Leave it to Murray. Just needs to be changed a little bit. I think, I'm not sure all this is still relevant, but it's a good idea. And I'm going to try to make one for future use. Okay, so we know all this, we see this, we have our open position in the banquet. This is that, but most importantly, the election committee. We got to start thinking about who's going to be doing that. So we need a chair and an observer, I guess. Okay. So here's a quick recap of last time we met, I guess. Help wanted. Banquet committee chairman. Yes, indeed. You know, but we really said we're just going to like pick a place and we'll all meet there and behave ourselves, I guess. The webmaster, newsletter editor, and manager. Okay, so that's Mike, who is now here. Hold on, let me just. Oh, Reuven is here. Oh, okay. So we have a full
I'm
house.
here.
Hi, Reuven. Nice
Hi.
to see you. All right. Now the public storage thing. All right, that's on hold. But what do we want to do about a club inventory? Somebody, we need to do a club inventory, I would imagine.
That's something that's normally kept, I think, by either first or second vice president, I think.
By the director.
Director.
Or director. Okay, director.
By the director. Oh, that's Len. Okay. Well, Len, what can we say about this? Have you had a chance at all? I know there's a list of stuff that's, oh good, John is here, so we can talk about field.
I have the list that's been passed on to me.
Does it look normal to you? I mean, what's even on it?
Well, mostly it's repeater stuff.
So we should have the repeater guys look at it.
Well,
or something, or what should we do?
It was passed on to me by the previous director and the vice president, and
ABZ.
Bob.
Bob
Bill
also gave me a copy, and I've gone over it with him. What stuff belongs to the club? But.
Okay. All right. So
the thing you have to be careful about there is that it used to be kept by Jim, K8ABZ,
right?
And it used to have all the club equipment, and then he announced at one meeting, and just kind of announced that he decided he was only keep track of radio type equipment. So other types of stuff the club owned, he took off. So
is that right? I
don't know if he did it or he said he was going to do it and did do it, or if he would. I don't know what the status of that was.
Yeah, he got frustrated by people not updating it. And he was like, you have to fill out an update form and send it to me. And he very much loved his forms.
Yeah.
And so, and I remember there was a bit of a back and forth about people, and then the club sold some items at the 2020 swap. We sold the two Scout transceivers, I believe. The Jupiter transceiver we did not sell. That's still in inventory somewhere, but nobody is 100% sure where it is. We think that it's in Bill's garage somewhere. So I mean, there's the club has a lot of good equipment. It's just kind of Bill has a lot of it, and then Bob, not this Bob, Bob Ling has has a lot of it.
So who wants to go over this with me? I can go with AAUU, and they can determine on the repeater.
Yeah, I have a lot of repeater stuff, and I don't know how well it's inventoried because a lot of it is just junk we took out,
So
Well,
who else wants to be part of this inventory evaluation, or what do we want to do?
If you want the
hesitate
help,
to-
Len, I can be, I'll be there, but
Well, I know, but see, you
know,
don't
I
have
don't
the
know what
history
you
of
need,
it.
and I don't know what we got and what's good and what's bad. So,
All right, let me.
That's not the point.
Geez, I hate to, I'm
all right,
always
okay.
promising things and then I don't do it. There would be something that it's
Okay, let me get with John and Bob, those two guys, and we'll see if we can iron things out. And then if we have questions, we'll bring them up.
what if let me
Len, can I send you a list of a couple of things that I have that belong to the club?
Thanks.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Just email them.
Okay.
What if we did it this way, Len? So it's not totally on your shoulders 100%, but if you took that and you copied the various, for lack of a better word, department heads, like send it to John for the repeater and send it to Bill for what's going on in his house. He's the one who actually kind of started this, actually, because he's got a lot of stuff in the garage, and have them go through it and check it off. Yeah, unless you want to go and look at it, but if we
No, we just have to go over it and do a review of it and see what was relevant, what's not, and just update it. It's printed out on a big big wide printer, or the old printer sheets,
Yeah, he had a database, I think, at one time with a lot of that.
Yeah.
So we should have.
I found his form that he sent to us. The addition to the club equipment inventory. Save this form to your hard drive so it can be used again. Open the blank form from your hard drive and fill it out.
I think I've got one of those. Yeah.
Email to k8abz1@gmail.com as an attachment.
God bless him.
Yeah.
All right.
Sent that out in 2020.
I mean, it does make inventory control easier.
This is the sheet right here that I have.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at the size of that thing. Is that like the green and white like stripes going across that kind of?
Yeah.
With the feeder?
I have that
stripes.
Excel file somewhere. I'm trying to find it. But
I think I've seen it, Reuben.
Is there an electronic version, Reuben? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's just a print. I mean, Len, I assume you have the electronic one too.
But do you know what year it was, Reuben?
This is dated July 25th, 2021.
21, huh?
21.
So
that sounds too well.
Wow.
Yeah,
maybe that's when it was printed out.
Yeah,
that's when it's dated here, the 25th of 21. So this brings me to what I wanted to bring up, Joe. I sent you an email, so now would be a good time for me to mention about it if it's all right with you.
Absolutely, go right ahead.
Okay, y'all are aware that Mike WD8S donated the Yaesu 747 to the club in support of the club and their antenna project and so forth. We've had it to different sales. and we haven't had any real bites on it. People have, looked at it and so forth. I took it to the sale down in Toledo, and it was put on Jim's table for the day, and no real bites there either. There was at least two others. I think maybe three others. Same thing, same machine for sale at that Toledo sale. They were asking about the same price for it. None of them had the whole package like we do. It was just a radio. One of them had a power supply with it. None of them had a microphone, except ours. And I don't think any of them had none of them had a tuner either. So the question is, I don't mind, hanging on here. It's not creating a problem here, though. But what is the bottom line? I know I ran it by Joe Sergey. Let me have the head on it. It's like the radio is not, in high demand. I don't think the others sold at the Toledo show either. So does a board want to put a bottom line on this thing that you want to sell it for? And I was even willing, if I had any discretion, like on a board member or club member, or a new up and coming. I've been asking for offers and no offers even on it. So if you guys think we ought to hold in a certain level, I want to know now, because if I find somebody interested and make a deal on it, they say, well, you should have got more money for it. Well, let me know now.
Yeah.
What's the bottom line?
I think what we should do to sort of establish a bottom line is get an idea of what they're selling for on eBay. I know that we don't want to actually sell it on eBay, but or we technically could.
I'm already looking on eBay.
Yeah, I mean, and the since the tuner is not like necessarily part of the package, you can look separately for the FC1000 tuner. We can look at those two items on eBay, get an idea of if the club chose to do it on eBay and paid the commission, I don't know, 10%, whatever they charge commission and credit card fees these days. But that would be, we could say, okay, the bottom line price is what we would get on eBay minus the commission, because we could always just turn around and do that.
So are we under any pressure to sell it, in a month or two?
Not that I'm aware of,
Okay.
I mean, what can I ask? Is there a computer interface with this thing at all, or no?
Yeah,
Let me ask you this:
it has a data cable that would interface.
For programming, though, yeah, I see that cable. I guess my question: how old is this radio? Like, what era technology does it represent?
Brad's looking stuff up there. I was thinking in the 80s or
So
90s.
Yeah, I think
there's only one
90s
of them
maybe.
listed as working condition of the 747, and that's coming from Japan, and they're asking $340.
Yeah.
Let's ask ChatGPT what he thinks. I guess my question is, what year? Like, what technologies? I have no idea what this is. Well, anyway, all right.
87 through 88. So 80s,
So the late 80s, right?
late
Late
80s, yeah.
So say 90s, right? So 90s, 100. So it's like 30 years old.
Yeah.
Or
What it needs, because see, this is looked at. I was talking to a couple guys at the swap a couple weeks ago, and the reason why these things tend to die is, think of it like a high performance car. This is a high performance radio. It's rated at 150 watts. It's over 100 watts on AM. So if somebody isn't paying attention, they're going to overdrive it and burn out the finals on it. It does not have a fan. and I guess the heat sink is a little, it's not is where it should be. Uh, so from that perspective, it's not really a beginner's radio.
So just looking at the webs at the rigpicks.com like specs thing, this thing says SSB 100 watts, AM 25 watts. So it's just a standard.
That's what the slide that I'm showing says too.
Yeah, but when I put it on my meter here at 100 watts, it was over 100 when I put it on my meter, and I had it plugged in.
Right? Is
Yep.
that right? No kidding.
Yeah. On AM, a lot of times you have to cut it back or it overdrive when you're keeping a sideband rig. I know my Kenwood's that way. Got to keep it down to about 40 watts, or you'll.
But the operation's nice. It's got the full controls right up. You can dial the power down. You can dial the mic gain down, and it has nice controls on it. So,
I mean, looks like a very nice radio. I mean, I'm not really in the market for another HF radio, but like, if I were someone just getting started on HF and didn't have $1,000 to throw down for something newer, this seems like a very reasonable deal.
Yeah.
well, remember we had cost of sales. If we're going to be dragging this thing around to different swaps to sell it,
why don't we? What do you think of this idea? Where am I? I got lost here. I lost my screen. Did you still see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
So this was a club donation, correct?
Yes.
So,
okay. So
hold on. What if we just did this?
So if it's not selling like we want it to, could we somehow do a raffle for it to where we're at least making some money off of it?
What about? Okay, we could, but at the
or
last meeting, give it to a deserving new licensee. Like, I don't know. I mean,
Someone who's just upgraded to general.
I mean, you guys are all over the
say-
map. It's either $350 or, I mean, yeah, a new guy should, want to give 50, $100 for it. I don't know. You could probably put it on eBay and,
right.
it'll
And if
go
it
for
doesn't,
something,
so put it on if we put it on eBay, keep it on eBay, keep it on eBay until June, let's say, till the end of our year. And if it doesn't sell at the banquet day or whatever, the last meeting of the year, whatever that is, we can, if we don't want to just keep it, we can, I don't know, give it to a new.
Hey.
Another idea. Another idea that just came in my mind.
Yeah.
If we still have it by field day, we could put field day as maybe our line, because we'd like to have the money for ordering antennas or whatever we're going to order. If John has a spot where we could put this thing up, and use it on field day.
Or what do you call it? Where people come and sit down, the people who aren't hams, what's that called?
Goda.
The Goda station.
No, we could swap it in or out. For Goda, you're trying to get somebody that don't know radio on the air. I would not give them, you want a radio that works pretty good. I don't know if that does a lot.
Well, this thing works good.
Yeah.
It works good. It puts out. I talk sideband on it.
And you know how to operate it?
Well, sure.
Okay.
It's actually pretty simple.
I mean,
That's the nice part about it. As long as you don't run it wide open all the time.
looking at this thing, I'm pretty sure I could sit down in front of it and within 5 minutes figure out how to get myself on the 10-meter single side band with little input, just looking at the keys, because they seem pretty intuitive. But I also have to learn how to fix programs on the fly all the time, so that there's that. But I mean, it does look like it would be a simple radio. I mean, if we're going to end up doing something where we're going to give it away. I think we just move in that direction from the beginning because I think you have to pay for that listing on eBay.
Well, you
From
pay a
up,
commission. You pay whatever 4% of the sale price. It depends on the category. You pay a certain percentage. Plus, if you accept PayPal payments, you pay a percentage of the credit card fee or whatever. So assume if you're selling on eBay that they get between those two things like a 10% cut or something like that.
Aren't there other websites like QRZ too that sell hand gear?
yes,
Yes.
QRZ does have a classifieds ad that
That's where we should put it.
I mean, if we're going to do it, that's what I'm saying. Like, we should go somewhere besides eBay where there may not be penalties if we take it down.
Let's put it, all right, let's make a decision, because we need to move on really, but, so do we post it on QRZ.com? How much does it cost to ship this thing is another question.
Well, that's going to cost with the tuner net. It's going to cost, $35 to ship it.
I mean, we go figure out if it will fit in a flat rate box. If it does, ship it flat rate and they pay for shipping. And just put that in the ad on there,
Okay.
shipping is this.
Shipping is this, or pick up locally in the Detroit area. And if someone nearby buys it, they can pick it up from whoever. And if somebody far away buys, they won't be willing to drive here, and they'll pay for the shipping. That's fine.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do there, Joe. For now, so we don't take any more time. I'm going to try to sell it on QRZ between now and field day, and I'll work on the shipping part of it, and
Okay, so that's like two things. Yeah, are you, okay. Do you need help doing that? Can somebody help with that, or?
no, I think I can handle that.
You think so?
Putting on
If you-
QRZ.
Yeah, all right.
I was on there this week shopping.
Great. Okay, all right, so let us know if you need some help. You're very generous with your time, and that's a good thing. And we'll hold on to it until field day, and after field day, we'll have to readjust our strategy. So let me just summarize what I think I heard we're doing. We are going to, when I say we, Len, we'll post it on QRZ.com, and we'll just leave it there and see what happens. If field day comes around and we still have it, then we'll use it maybe for something. I don't know. But after field day, then we got to figure out more of a long-term plan as to what to do.
If I get an offer like $200, should we take it?
Yeah.
I don't think so, but
You don't think so?
All right, go ahead. Say that. Well, who said I don't think so?
that's Reuven. I mean, we see that they're going for 300 something when they don't include the microphone and tuner. Here we have a tuner that's about $150. We have a microphone that, call it $50. I have no idea. I mean, 350 is a steal. I mean, it should theoretically it should be listed for more. So I mean, if you were selling just the radio and selling the tuner separately, then like maybe in the 200s, maybe you would negotiate. But I mean, I'd hold out a little bit.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I 100%
I
agree.
do too.
Like, if
too.
I had the extra 350, I would buy this from the club, but I just don't have the 350, and I'm really looking for something like the
Okay, let me up it up a little bit here. If we get an offer for 2.5 or 300, what's the bottom line that you take in the next month or so?
I say 350 with the package we're offering.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on.
I have a point. I'm not sure, but some of those Jesus, the tuner had a special cable that hooked to the rig.
Yes.
Auto tune. And I don't know if that's one of those or not, but
I have that cable.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of a match thing, but I mean, like Joe was saying, either one's worth a lot of money.
Yeah, this is an actual photograph of except this is not. This is pasted in. But this is the actual photograph as it's sitting on that table
So
at. So we have this cable is for programming, and this is the DC cable. I don't know, other than programming. Wait, what was the question about the cable again now?
so the
We were
radio
talking
does
about
do
the tuner.
cat control.
Oh, it does. Okay, great, terrific. Wow. All right, it is a good deal. It's a great deal. Yeah.
So the radio itself is going for 350. If we're selling the radio for 350 and with the amp that's worth 150, why would we want to go down? We
It's not an amp.
really should
It's
be
a,
starting higher than that.
No, we're not going to. We ain't going to work higher. Believe me.
yeah,
But
if you could get 200, fine. I mean, that's just me talking, but whatever, I mean, whatever seems reasonable. Hopefully it goes to a new ham. I hope. I really do. Hope it goes to a new ham.
Well, if he goes to Newham, I'll have to, especially if it's somebody we know, we're going to have to help him get acclimated so he doesn't do hot rodding. Like Bob, he got fed up with me because I was hot rodding my 101. You know, he says, "You take it from here. I'm not going to repair it anymore." You know, I was hot. I was tuning up too high. He says,
Oh,
he may be right.
yeah, you got to keep that power as low until you tune it. Anyway, okay. All right.
Well, thanks for your time.
Well, thanks for your time, and this is great. So, I mean, there's no rush, so we don't have to. We'll post it and see what happens. All right, what else is on here? We don't have to do every. This is from a while ago. So, Zoom meetings, create member badges. I don't want to talk about that right now, but we do need to figure out member badges. Our badge. We don't have badges at all these days. I do just want to keep in mind, everybody, July 2026, that's the big month when our club hits 3,000, or I mean the Sunday night net hits 3,000. So, I mean, that's really for next year, I guess, but I think it's cool. It would be something that any marketing executive would make a big deal out of. So, all right, the member survey.
So the member badges, what is the issue? I thought that we got that engraver to do those red ones, the new style red ones. So what is
Oh,
that
Oh, I'm not
who
aware of that.
has that information though of that person?
who ordered those badges that we were giving away at the desk about a year ago? We got an engraver to do it. I mean, I think Len, was that someone you worked with?
No, that was our former vice president,
Was it Marv?
Marv. I couldn't think of his name, but yeah,
Okay.
Marv made those arrangements.
Okay. So Marv, I mean, it's probably in an email from Marv, but if it's not, I mean, we can just call up Marv and ask him, hey, what's the contact information for this engraver that we used a year ago?
How many badges do we owe people?
I have a bunch of them that aren't claimed.
I know what you're
I've had
talking
several
about.
requests. About a dozen people have requested the badges,
About
new members and that.
About a dozen people. Those
Roughly.
badges you
I'm a
have,
guesstimate.
only 3 people in that bunch are still members. Just so you know.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, okay. So
Who's going to talk to Marv?
I'll call Marv.
Okay.
you are the best. We can. All right. All right. Anyway, what else? Oh, let's talk. John is here, so let's just jump right to. Hold on. Let's talk about field day. Well, wait. No, hold on. Let me stay in order here. Just a second. First of all, what's going on in our presentation for this month? Do we have any?
I thought I had someone lined up, and I don't have anybody lined up as of yesterday.
Oh, all right. I'll have a backup ready just in case.
Okay. I'm still working on it.
I got 18 billion presentations, so okay, fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I thought I had somebody lined up to do the fox hunt stuff.
Oh, that would have been cool.
but
Okay.
they're not responding. So I can't say
Yeah.
that they're in. I think they're out because they're just not responding.
Yeah.
So I don't
All
know.
right. Well, we'll come up with something. You and I will, let's get together on that and we'll figure that out.
Okay.
We need a topic, I guess.
What's the thoughts on Mark's presentation? He was asking for some feedback, and he's interested and willing to make further presentations um, and pick up from where he left off, basically. He gave an overall, because he asked me what I thought, and I says, I was looking for certain information on the latest news at Oakland County there, and he gave him more of a bigger picture, which is great, for the first presentation. He's interested in doing some follow up either later, probably next fall would be the most logical time. So
Yeah, and I agree kind of with what you were thinking, Len. I was looking for a little more in depth instead of just an umbrella.
I do want to remind everybody, not everybody. So, and besides putting, was it 5 kids to bed every night? You haven't had a chance by any chance, your solar power presentation, Ruben? That's always a good one. But if you're
No,
bit,
I have
but
not.
if not, no, okay, fine.
Yeah, I mean the solar power, not the solar power presentation that I did 2 years ago about what I got installed on my roof. I mean, that I definitely could do again, but I don't think anyone wants to hear that again. Your question was a presentation about like practical sort of portable solar. I have some of that going on, but I don't have a presentation written for that. I mean, it was convenient. It was 2 Saturday nights ago. There was a mysterious 2-hour power outage, and I was running all different sorts of stuff off of these 100 amp hour batteries here.
Well, okay, so Mike, maybe we can still do so. We'll think of something. Solar power can be the topic for April. Wait a minute, where are we?
April's coming up.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
God.
April. It's just a couple weeks away, unfortunately.
All right, so we'll do something on solar power. Don't ask me what, but
Couple
let's say
weeks,
this:
couple
we would
days.
do this if I was for the brand new ham who not only is interested in buying our transceiver there, maybe the same ham got a big tax rebate or something, wants to buy solar panels. How would they go about evaluating how much? So, I mean, how do you go about it? Let's say you wanted to get a system, something like that, right? We'll come up with something. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned.
That's for like off grid solar.
What a great name, off-grid solar.
Yeah, because
how about solar power for dummies? Real basic level.
Yes.
What do I need to buy and what connections? And,
yeah. The problem is that the way I've done it makes it more complicated than for dummies. So for dummies, you can walk into Home Depot or Walmart and get one of the Jackery batteries. It's a combination charge controller, inverter, etc. You can then right next to it on the shelf pick up a couple solar panels that have a pre-wired connector that fit into that Jackery box, and not Bluetti and Jackery and EcoFlow, and there are a whole bunch of them that they sort of build them as alternatives to generators nowadays.
Which one of those brands, Ruben, would you buy?
Well, I didn't buy any of them. I went and bought like individual 100 amp hour batteries. So I went the more complicated route, but if you're starting out, I wouldn't necessarily advocate going the more complicated route. I'm just an engineer, so I'm the one who makes it hard on myself.
So,
but
those
Ruben,
names,
since you have the knowledge, though, what about this is conceptually? You just shared with us. You can go into Home Depot and you can do this and you can do that and you can do this and you plug it in and you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go a little bit deeper and a little bit better and do like I did and then tell us what you did.
Yeah.
Is that
like In retrospect, I'm not 100% convinced that what I did is better. It gives me more control, for sure. But oh, John is here. John, you have, what is it, Bluetti? I think you have.
Yeah, I got Bluetti with Bluetti solar panels. So being that I bought it all at the same place.
So John did what I said that you could do. You can
Right.
walk into Home Depot, Walmart, probably Costco, and you can buy a Bluetti or Jackery or whatever off the shelf. You can buy the solar panels that are sitting right next to it off the shelf. You plug one into the other, and you're set.
You're done. Yeah, the battery's built into the charger and everything.
Yep, it's
all
a
one piece.
combination charge controller. So I mean, let's see, the charge
Yeah,
controller's not in view.
They advertise on TV. Oh,
So
Well, I had that
the
Bluetti out
eco-
at Field Day 2 years ago.
yeah. Remember, somebody brought one to breakfast that was broke. I think that was yeah, he wanted Ken to fix it or something. I don't remember the brand.
Yeah,
but-
the difference being that John picked up two things at I don't know, Walmart or wherever you picked it up, probably somewhere better than that. But like I had to buy 200 amp hour batteries. I had to buy a solar charge controller. I had to buy a LiFi charger. I had to buy let's see, some fuses and where's that? There's a pure sine wave power inverter down there that's too big for me to bother lifting up, but I mean, it can do 3,000 watts peak. So yeah, it probably has slightly more capability because I mean, it's a lot of battery power and a pretty hefty inverter. But still, like it all of this together, I probably could have bought one of those Bluetti things instead and saved myself a lot of time in wiring.
Yeah, but you probably got more backup than you would for the same amount of money. Because you're doing a lot of the labor that I paid Bluetti to do.
That may be true. Like, I mean, I have here two 100 amp hour batteries, each of which I paid around a little under 200 for each battery.
Okay.
And actually, they've gone down since then. You can now get 100 amp hour batteries for around $150, which is ridiculously cheap. I mean, everyone should buy a few of those. Just you can.
Yeah, they're available at I saw them at Menards. They have them.
Yeah.
I was surprised. 100 amp hours?
Yeah, like you can. I can like. I could run like use this and run a radio like all pretty much probably all of Field Day with this and like 100-watt panel or something. Like these batteries are relatively cheap. And I mean, then I was doing a little math. If I take 60 of those batteries, I've equal to what's in my car.
Ruben, your enthusiasm, you got to do a presentation.
Yeah.
Oh, we love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm ready to go out and buy one now. Right now.
Yeah,
All right,
you can. I mean, my office is an absolute mess, but I have a solar system and I mean, crimp tools and all the fun stuff involved floating around here.
So
What do you think, Ruben? Do you want to do April?
I don't know if I'll have time to put it together.
Well, I do. I'll put it together. You do it.
Okay.
Something
bring
like
your
this.
stuff.
Solar power for beginners. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have it done.
MC4 connectors. These are another a sort of connector that you love to hate. These things are annoying. You have to crimp
What
them.
is it? Well, I can't see.
MC4 connectors. They're sort of the standard connectors for
Solar power.
solar power. So this is what the connect. Oh, where's the camera?
Those
There's
are
the-
bullet
Up, more,
connectors.
up.
There.
Right there.
So these are two. I think these are the female sort, and
Yeah.
find some.
But you can buy
Yeah.
pre-assembled connector cables on Amazon.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I of course bought a crimp tool, and you have all these little pins, and you have all these connector bodies, and you can put them all together and make solar cables for them. They're a nice waterproof connector, but they are let's just say tedious to assemble.
I'm at an age where I got lazy and bought the pre-configured.
Yeah,
You're smart there, John.
I don't blame you. And in retrospect, had I known where I was going with this, I might have just done the same.
And just buy a couple extra batteries.
Yeah.
So, Lynn, depends on
right.
what you're looking for and which of those brands are best. EcoFlow does have some nice whole home solutions that are solar backups that you can also take with you, and the batteries connect together to extend your time. But it really depends on what you're looking for on which brand to go with.
Right.
Okay. Let's just move on here.
This is the power inverter that I was mentioning. It's just a little bit
God.
too
Can you
big
lift
to
it?
be.
Can you lift it 6 times over your head?
Maybe.
In each arm. Anyway, all right. Just a couple things on our web facing outside world. So, I don't. And John, we can talk. John TOY. John,
Yeah.
we can talk about this offline. But I need the list from last month's member
I
meeting.
emailed it to you.
Did you? Good for you. All right, bad for me. Yeah,
No,
I'll go
not
find
the
it.
ones that were at the meeting, but the online.
Right,
Yeah.
right. The online ones. And then can you, Ruben, if you don't mind, can you like scan that or something or take a photo? No, just take a photo
Yes,
and send
I
it.
can do that. It has been sitting next to this along with my my IRS 8879 forms that I had to give my accountant to. By my accountant, I mean my dad, to file my taxes.
Wow.
I just
I
spent
know.
$200 on that today.
Wow. Well, we got to help.
I'm into
All
denial.
right. And also the other thing, John, I do want to talk to you about, we got to get these extra class things online. I can't go on forever doing, you know what I mean? I like to get them online because what I would like to do as a result of, and I'm just talking education for a minute, as a result of our, we're jumping around, but why not? Hold on, as a result of our survey there, it looks like people are looking for a course on digital electronics. And I'm thinking, well, if I have to do the extra class, I just don't have that time to also do that. But if we could get the extra class online somehow, which wouldn't be a bad idea, but that too in itself is a lot of work. But
No, right
anyway,
now we're right in the middle though. We're not. You want to start doing it at the beginning of the class, don't you? Or you want to just start right in the middle, like where we're
I
at?
have, you know what? I have 4 years worth of these because we've recorded every single one. I
Oh
probably
wow.
have 5 years. I've been doing it for 6 years, I think, actually. But so we've got plenty of video. So it's a matter of doing. But it would be nice to be able to respond to. And let me just change the. What am I looking at? I am so mixed up these days. I can't. PowerPoint. Yeah. Okay. So if we can think about that, that's something that needs to be done. Let me move on. Okay. Don't forget, we have all this. We're trying to figure out our video library. So we now have 3 entries.
Right.
So we got to keep moving ahead. So quickly, I just want a few things just kind of lingering from here. There was mention of having educational classes at the library, and of course, like I just want everybody to know, I talked to Randy. He's over the moon, thinks it's a great idea. Who would do it? What would be, all that we would have to work out is a project for next year, for sure.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Wes really likes the live classes, so that's kind of closer than Southfield where we were doing it before.
what do you mean?
We were doing ham radio classes. He likes to do them live in person.
No, I'm talking about the extra class. The extra class. I know. You guys do the general class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about the general class. Yeah, I'm not. I'm talking about the extra. I know you got like to do it live or not live in person, right?
Yeah. Oh, you're just talking about the electronic meeting room? I don't know what.
The the extra class license course that takes place on Tuesday night, right? So
Yeah.
if you have a general class or novice and you want to get your extra class, you take this course, which is like a never-ending course. It's like a course with no end to it, which needs to really be rethought. Anyway, that's what I was talking about there. So, um, anyway, so I haven't heard any feedback on what HPARC member replaced his accordion with a radio. I think that's just classic there. All right, let's move on. Somebody had mentioned monitors. I think Len, I owe you this, or was it Len? Yeah. But about 5 other things that I promised that I just didn't do, and I apologize for that. But does anybody object to these air monitors that we have listed here? I mean, I kind of trust these people. Um, is there any reservations? I mean, Al is always on, Les is on. I know they're not happy people, but you got to include the non-happy people too. But they're a good set of eyes and ears, or ears, I should
Oh, you
say.
do have less on there. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so I just want to say that. And so here's where I was saying digital modes. Now that would be, when you look at this could be the list of subjects for all of the presentations starting next year. September, a presentation on digital mode and computers, for example, then emergency training, then PODA. Oh, that's the, yeah. Parks on the Air, and all that. So anyway, I don't have anything particular. I know we've talked about this, but it's a great guide, and I think we should keep it close at heart here. And this is what we've got, and this is the feedback, and so keep that in mind. Now, so field day. So establish a civil defense exercise. All right, well, maybe not, but let's talk about field day anyway. So here's the new field day logo, which just came out, like
Oh,
hot off the press.
wow.
Yeah,
I guess we'll have
FD
to order something, huh?
FD 25. So my question is, right, we're at green. Am I
We're at
right?
Scout Park.
Scout Park.
Scout Park.
Oh,
Scout.
I knew it. I knew it. All right, never mind. I knew it. I
Yeah,
knew
we
there
were
was.
there. That looked like it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't it. All right. My apologies. But you want to just
I
give us an update? Just give us an update on where is there anything we need to know? You made the reservations, you said that, right? And you got reimbursed and we're all happy and we're just waiting. Are we done? We're okay now, set, ready to go?
We got the reservation and I don't remember. Did I get reimbursed? I did, didn't I?
Yes, you
I
did.
was
Yes, you
it
did.
at Scout Park or was it Green Acres? I thought we discussed Green Acres last time.
Yeah, it's at Scout Park. We went over
Okay.
there.
Yeah, the
Okay.
picnic is Green Acres, right?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
picnic's at Green Acres, um, yeah.
Wait.
Well, because I couldn't get in the what do you call it? The
Shelter?
center there, because you can't they wouldn't let us go overnight in the center. It was kind of pricey too. I don't I can't remember the prices right now. So that's why I just went ahead with
So
park. We've been there before. I went over and looked at the tree situation and it looked good. And I mean, the other thing about Green Acres is if I put a lot of antennas and towers up, and there's a lot of foot traffic, it's a little more problematic. Bob, ATZ was another one that really favored Scout Park. So that's why I ended up there. We'll be the only shelter there.
okay.
The problem is I talked to Bob about the tent rental is I haven't got the numbers handy, but it's in the neighborhood of $400. They had cheap tables though. They were only like $6 or $10 for a table and $2 for a chair for the rental. But
Let's make sure the bathroom gets unlocked.
yeah, that's just catching them and making sure they don't lock it, Yeah, it'll be unlocked when we get there. We got them. I could put in a request back at the mothership. I don't know if they'll, because they close at 5 on Saturday. I don't know what they have to do with the park rangers actually, but
Okay,
that's
so
an-
is everyone okay with a tent rental?
yeah, that's the problem is I got over budget there. The-
Where do
it's 20 by 30, I think, or is it a 10 by? It's a pretty good size tent. It's we had it one year. The year you had the satellite station, Joe. That's
Yeah.
the size tent we had. It was a nice one. Then we could just put um tarps on the shelter, I guess. I'm not real fond of that idea, but WDAS thinks it'd be easy. I think we tried it one year for Bill and the cooking, and it's hard.
It's
If the wind's strong, you got problems.
right. But it's nice to have that cement floor, but I get
Yeah.
let's not yeah, I hear you.
And
It's a
some
lot of work.
550 cord at the top and bottom will hold it in place.
What if they erected the tent underneath the shelter? Can they do that?
What?
Why would you want to do that?
No.
Because it gives you the sides. In other words, not the top, just the tent. I don't know. I'm just making this up. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but
I didn't want to put it that way, but yeah.
I think, and I don't want to be responsible for the mechanical end of putting the tarps up.
no, I should you.
If somebody,
You've
I
got
can
your hands.
imagine doing it right where you would string a nice steel cable but if we just take some visqueen and tie it in a knot,
I've been there.
that could work for a while, but if we get a really bad storm,
I've seen that movie. Trust me.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So we have to start figuring. So that's the big thing right now. As far as field day goes, we've established that we're going to be in Scout Park.
Right.
We've established that we're going to have to figure out our shelter somehow. Tent is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we need to do that sooner rather than later because John, sometimes we run into problems renting a tent, don't we?
Yeah, especially in June.
If we get too close to June. So that's maybe something you should decide tonight.
Okay. Yeah,
So
Mark thought he had a line on a cheaper
either
one.
give the thumbs up or the thumbs down.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And I was just also looking, I just did a quick Google. If we wanted to buy a 40 by 20 party tent, large heavy duty wedding tent for outdoor events and shelters, $375
With walls?
with walls and windows.
So you want to buy it, set it up, and keep it during the winter?
Well, and that's the complication.
Yeah. This is
I'm just throwing that out there.
And
a 20 by 20 is 300, a 20 by 30 is 400. And that they bring it out, set it up, and take it back when we're done.
yeah. I think we should look into setting it up on the cement slab, but it's up to you guys. Listen, I get it.
Well, if you bought one, maybe that would be more of a.
What would the point be on the cement slab? There's a roof above you, and the roof is not that
for the walls.
Yeah, but the roof is not that much higher. So like you're gonna.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way on any gazebo I've been in at a park that we could set a tent up inside or over it.
Well,
So
hold on.
if you want the walls on the gazebo, we can all the tarps usually have the rivet holes in it. We can run 550 cord through the like curtains on the top and bottom and tie the 550 cord off top and really tight so it doesn't move.
Yeah,
And
you're saying
those
just
walls-
put up walls
Can
around
you
the
can you
Yeah.
do that? Can you do that for us?
I mean,
Can you look after
just
that for us?
I would need a ladder or something because I'm extremely short,
You know what? Can I make an executive decision?
and we would need some 550 cord.
Let's just get the tent on order. We can change our minds if it's on order, but I think Bob has a good point that at least let's get our reservation in it. You got to pay in advance to put it on order? Probably, I guess, or
I didn't get that far because of this. It looks like I get a 10 by 20 for 100 too, but
yeah. So,
I mean, if we have both that and the gazebo, we put the tent
can I?
right up next to it, and then we build some walls.
Right.
I think a combination might be in order, where you have the tent for some serious contesters and a Goda maybe in the shelter.
Yeah. Okay.
Something like that.
All right. Just one last point about field day. Mike, N8VDZ, Mike.
Yep.
Are you you're cooking?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, have you been to Central Scout Park?
I have not. Yet.
You need to look at it.
Yeah, I'm heading over there probably tomorrow. Now that I know where we're going to be, I'm heading over there either tomorrow or the next day. Yep.
You might want to meet, or you might not, but I mean, either way is fine. But you might want to meet Bill, or at least I ask him. I don't know if he's available or not. I'm sure he can give you advice on how the cooking is, because you have to, I think, and I can't remember, but I know he always brings his own barbecue. I have a small barbecue, butane.
Yeah, and I've done a lot of this kind of thing before, Joe.
Oh, wait a minute. What am I even talking about? We did the picnic.
Yeah. Yeah, and Mike, I liked your idea of chili and stuff that don't have to be cooked out there as much.
Yeah. Because
All right.
I want to play. I don't want to, as the cook, I don't want that to be my sole job. I want to play radio on field day.
Okay, so
I'm going to make sure that everybody is very well fed.
Yeah.
And I get to play radio.
So you need somebody, at least two people to help you.
Not really.
Does that include Sunday morning breakfast?
Yeah.
Okay, so more to be followed on that. Okay, you know what? I'm losing time, my sense of time here. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Okay, let's.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is Saturday lunch, Saturday dinner, something to snack through the night, and Sunday breakfast. Am I on key?
Yeah. That's traditional, yeah.
Okay. That's where I'm going.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Mike, for that. Are there any other outstanding field day? Oh, internet. What are we doing for internet there?
I'm not sure why we have internet on field day.
Oh, I thought we did.
We need it for we need it for digital.
Why?
Because I need to be on the web to get my software working on my laptop.
Most cell phones can do internet to be a hotspot or something.
I don't understand why. We used to just have a local net, a LAN, so we could share logging. But
it's nice to have a camera.
Yeah, KWU, he kept trying to get. He likes being on the real internet, and I never understood why. Because
the only way I've ever done it is the way that Mike showed us. KW showed us.
So let's reach
out. So that's the only way I know how to do digital.
Why do you need it for digital? I don't understand.
I don't know. Well, we'll talk to Mike. We'll see let him.
Well, Mike likes it and all that. I just never understood because it's supposed to be an emergency situation.
I agree with you, John, that like the whole idea of field day is to be like in an off-grid situation. I understand that you might want to sync your clock if you're doing FT8, if your clock is off but like there's I forgot what the name of there's a clock nudge program to like
JT Sync.
JT
is one of them. If you're on FT8, You do
Yeah.
not need any internet because it takes place between WJSTX. If you're off, you use JT Sync. It tells you how far you're off, and you click on it, and it
You
syncs you
can
back
use
up.
GPS too for that.
Yeah, if you have a GPS receiver connected to your radio or to your computer.
Yeah, Wes brought one year. I'll write that down and see if he still got it. The only problem we had was the time server.
Oh,
The only
But-
digital modes I know of that you need internet for are DMR, Fusion.
Oh yeah. Oh, those guys. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, why would you need internet for those?
So
They,
so for DMR to function as DMR is designed, you need internet to get those proper contacts.
but we don't do DMR.
DMR is not connected to internet as a repeater, it is then a digital local repeater only.
But we
It
don't.
will not connect you to people in Georgia at all. Where with internet,
Well, if the repeaters are linked, the like at the repeater level, it will be linked. I mean, like that's
but that would be the same as an analog repeater, though, except for you're running a digital voice.
exactly. That's the
All
way
right,
that-
but we're not.
Okay,
doing
I mean
that's-
the way yeah, I
We're
mean the
not-
way that I would usually do DMR, and again, it's been a couple of years since I dabbled in DMR, but like you go to a repeater that has usually a one or two talk groups that are set up as push to talk, and then
Yeah.
you put in what talk group you want,
We're not.
and then you hit the push to talk button, and it links you to that talk group.
Yeah,
So
so
that repeater
31
yeah.
that 3126 is the common one here in Michigan because that's the Michigan State Talk Group on Brandmeister.
Hold on.
I can be in
Do we
Florida.
use that for field day at all,
Stop.
though?
We're not
No,
No, we
using
don't.
it.
We
Yeah,
We
don't
don't
that's
use
use
it for field day.
I don't
that's
care.
not field day.
Let's
It
move
doesn't
on.
count in field day.
And
It doesn't count. We're
I'll
not
get with
doing.
Wes.
We don't do DMR.
Because
I-
like you said, you can use your phone.
I was bringing DMR up as a specific example of ones that absolutely rely on internet but aren't accepted in field day, is what
All right,
I
but
was
that-
trying to
but-
say.
But
in
I
that.
get it. I understand. But we're not doing DMR, so it doesn't apply to us. So anyway, let's move
Move
on,
on.
please.
Oh,
Yeah, let's go back to field day. Yes.
We'll get
Yeah.
K8WU to figure out whatever he can provide and whatever he's willing to do. Let him.
I think he always used his phone's hotspot.
He's another one. I got to talk to see what involvement he wants. We're talking about cutting it back to 3 alpha. Is the only thing we're still debating that. And I'd rather have my act together a little more before I present it because I'm flexible on it. We can always decide at the last minute, I guess. So
That 3 alpha, does that include the GOTA station?
no, doesn't include the GOTA or the VHF. So it's really still 5 stations to go 3 alpha. And if we go 4 alpha,
Why would you drop it to 3 alpha use from 4?
yeah, less work. And last year was just a big disappointment. We had all those stations and they weren't hardly used as far as I was concerned.
Oh,
So we need to really push that. We need to get operators and maybe we get a calendar or a sign up or just some kind of commitment for people to come out and work. Is that something that would help that situation, John?
Yeah, that's another, kind of a
Yeah, I
sales.
think that's a good idea. Yeah.
But
So-
wasn't there that last year? Because
No, there wasn't. So
No, there was
I-
one 2 years ago, but not last year.
I thought there was a sign up last year because
there wasn't.
Nope.
Please.
I was
I thought I
told.
had one.
Yeah, I swear there was one.
I think I got one. That's where I came up with the 30 people. There was one more. Oh, the thing with the 3 alpha too, if you count the GOTA, there's 4 stations, and then the idea would be to spread people on different bands. That's another reason for it. So we don't have people on the same band operating radios. Which
Yeah, John, I'll still be offering up my 7300, and
okay.
I do not need to do digital.
Well,
If you would rather not have digital,
we want all
I can do
stations.
whatever the whatever the club would like me to do.
The contacts I've had, Wes, Marv, and Mike, WD8S is who I've been talking to, and they want to like have all stations able to work phone, CW, and FT8, so you could switch around.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because you're kind of more cornered on a particular band because of the antenna situation.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of the plan. I'm sure it won't work out that nice, but we'll see. I always have done a 4 alpha, but I keep hearing people, oh, why you do so many? Okay, well. All right, I'm done.
So we'll have a slide at the March meeting. Is it March? No, April. Sorry,
April.
at the April meeting about revving up the troops and getting people to sign up and make a commitment, because it's a lot of work to put up the antennas. It's a lot of work to do the stations. It's a lot of work, and if people would, it would be nice if they would use it. So let's work on that.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
I'll try to get something to you in a week or so.
Great. Okay. Terrific. Public storage, we already talked about this. We talked about taking inventory. The slide is in the wrong place. Sorry about that. What's next? Oh, you know what? I don't really need them right this minute, Bob, but isn't there a later one? I remember seeing one in February, right? But I couldn't.
Yeah, there was a February, and in fact, I sent it out early in February, and I presented it at the
That's what I
March
thought. Oh, that's where it is. All right, never mind. I'm all right.
Yeah,
I'll find it. Anyway, do we have to vote on something or something? A budget
Is there a
vote?
budget do we have to approve?
I thought the club approved the budget.
yeah, but we got to authorize the club to approve the budget. Now, here's the thing: if we're, I did this based on what we had this year and thinking, well, maybe next year will be the same, but it looks like what we want to do is, it looks like for this budget, we need to increase the facility, or not the facility, the equipment cost some more if we're now going back to renting tents. Because you notice we've got a couple hundred for the facility. And maybe that's overstated by $100. The food is okay. But the equipment, that $150, the only thing that's going to cover is the generator and a couple of gallons of gasoline. If we're going to start, if we're committed to going back to tents, we need to add like another $400 to that. Other than that, the rest of the budget is about ready to go.
Okay.
Now, are we going to continue renting a generator, or do we have anyone who's willing to bring a generator to avoid that expense?
How much is it to rent?
What's that?
How much about to rent
about 150.
From Home Depot, right, or something?
Yeah, I just go to Home Depot and
I think it was less than $100, or no, a little over $100, and then a little extra for gasoline. I forget the exact numbers.
Usually we donate to the gasoline, but yeah.
How big of a generator do we need?
That's
the
about
big
a
thing.
2,000 watt will do it. That's what I've been getting.
Yeah.
3 kW.
Yeah, the caveat with the generator is that we rent the Honda because it is very radio quiet. I remember I think it was 2018, I think it was Aaron brought a different brand generator, and it apparently made a lot of RF interference. Whereas we know the Hondas are RF clean generators. So that is the caveat.
Actually, the generator is last year was $140.
Right.
I mean, here's another caveat. Ruben was bragging about how good he is at building solar backups. Why can't he build us a solar backup for field day?
Well, do we have enough battery to last all night on all those radios?
He does. But
I only have 200 amp hour batteries here. I mean, that would work for 2 stations. I don't think it would work for 4.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, I'm not. I was kind of joking with that, but that is a a feasible backup.
We
And
got,
could you, like, if people put batteries in with that, could you use different sizes,
we need,
Reuven?
You can, in certain cases, run batteries in parallel, but the recommendations from the manufacturers are to stick to the same brand, same manufacture time frame.
Yeah.
So even these 200 amp hour batteries here are different manufacturers, and I try to avoid. I think I don't remember if I've ever tried running it in parallel, just because you have to watch about current flow between the two batteries, because I mean theoretically the battery, the BMSs are supposed to balance things, but if they're made by different manufacturers, like who knows what they'll end up doing.
Yeah.
That year that I brought the Blue Eddy with the solar panels, we had good sun most of the time.
Yeah.
And we ran one station, the station I was on. We ran that for the entire field day without ever touching commercial power
Yeah, I
wow,
or
remember that.
generator power.
yeah, good. Okay,
So, I
so
mean,
the budget. So is this something how do we present this to the membership? They vote on it? Is that how this works, Bob? Or what
Yeah.
needs to be done here?
Yes, that is.
So I'll put it in the next presentation. We'll have a slide for that. Okay, good.
Okay, but let me send you a new version of that because I want to increase that equipment expense.
Yeah, I mean it'll be 2 more weeks, so before the
Yep,
next,
yep.
so we'll
Okay.
have the
Now,
most recent one. That's
now
all.
Does the
for
board need to approve this? Do we need to have something on paper that we approve this to go to membership?
Well, we did already, didn't we? I know I did. I responded. Bob sent out to everybody a copy of it and said,
Oh, I remember that now.
yeah, remember? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
but I know that we're talking about changing things. We also mentioned the potential to changing the allocation for the repeater budget, because that's what 2,000. I mean, it's not on this page, but it's what $2,000. That if we're going to really upgrade the antenna, that's probably going to have to go up.
Yeah, well, that's a
We're
whole,
still looking for that money, huh, Joe?
we're still looking for the money. Well, so there's a whole section on that. Can you just put that in the parking lot for a minute? That particular subject?
Okay, yeah. I mean, we can just tell the membership we hope to do this antenna, but since we don't have the incoming source of the money, we're not allocating it as the outgoing source of money yet. And I think
You know,
that's
just one thing with all the hoopla that's been going on about that project. We happen to be right on schedule. I have a calendar. I should have included it in this presentation, but it's this month that we're supposed to pick a vendor to do that. And all right, so it's almost April 1st, so we're a little bit behind, but we need to get moving on that without a doubt. So, but I wouldn't, until we know what we're doing, I don't know that I would change anything because everything's all, what would you change it to? We don't know. And
yeah.
then,
I don't
I
know.
mean, so
I
anyway,
mean,
so
I do think that what was it 2 meetings ago when the club voted to basically table the discussion on it. I think that not the majority really care. I hate to sound dismissive like that, but a lot of people just simply don't care. The people that do are very vocal, and I think a lot of people are just like, okay, well, I mean, the repeater exists, it works okay as is. Meh, meh, meh. Um,
Uh, Joe, whatever happened to Andrew's grant proposal? Did that go in?
well, it, Andrews, not Andrews.
He rewrote it. I got an email that it was rewritten, and I looked at it a little bit. All of
That's
some,
AC0JX.
I have,
Andrew
that's,
from Clausen.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
AC0JX, I think.
yeah. I
When
didn't
I
know if
said,
he was mailing it in, or I don't know the mechanics of that at all.
Yeah, the
didn't,
last I heard, he was still working on it, wasn't he?
Yeah, and there's those certain dates that have to go in by, and
Yeah.
I'm not.
all
It's
right.
what
So we'll
you.
check with Andrew. Yeah.
I'll make a note to get a hold of him.
Yeah. There, there's one smart guy. All right. What else?
But that's a lot of money if it would go through.
Okay. Do I have anything to say about our website? Maybe, but I don't have anything pressing to say other than, eh, we have a lot of projects. time, I don't know. Anyway, so Mike, do you have anything more to say about the website? Have you been in touch with Mike? Do you have the information you need logging on? Are you still doing this? Are
Well,
you still
I can
interested in
log
doing
in and
it?
I can make simple upgrades, but um, I was just doing the
Mechanics.
the newsletter stuff.
Oh, you just want to do the newsletter stuff? Okay.
Yeah, and I've been doing simple, changing the dates on the testing, changing the dates on the classes,
Right.
simple things like that. But I am by no means any kind of webmaster.
Yeah, it's not so much being a just being a manager, just seeing, and I've got many things that could be mounted on there, the presentations we give at the meetings and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff. But again, there's a lot of things to do, and you know, we need
Yeah,
people.
but I have access and I could
You
I
do.
could do stuff and I could be dangerous, I'm sure. Um,
Okay. We like danger. Anyway, all right, good to know. Just want to get an update on that
I
because
have not, by the way, got a single email on, hey, this is what I did for the club, or this is what's going on with the club, or so I have added nothing.
I can the
So
slide.
just so you're aware.
Okay. Yeah, of course. I know. I know.
Yeah.
So
So
Uh,
we need to focus on this going forward.
yeah, board members, if you got stuff, please send it. If you hear somebody talking about something, tell them, hey, send Mike a couple of paragraphs on that. You know,
Or
keep
slides.
keep pushing for them to do because it's a new way of us doing stuff.
Yeah. We
And
need
so let's get it into people's heads.
we need like a youngin to come in and take care of that for us, I guess. All right. Next thing, banquet. I don't know where we would do this, but we'll just say, I don't know, we got 12, 15, or 20 people or something. This Ticonderoga place, I don't know what I was doing driving around that neighborhood. I must have been coming from breakfast. Oh, I know why. Because it
Ticonderoga.
closed down 696 and I
Is
can't
that
take
on Rochester?
yeah.
Rochester Road. Yeah, it's on I think it's on like 15 mile on Maple or something.
Yeah,
It's,
I know
So,
what you're talking about. Oh, yeah.
it's out
six
that
nine
ways.
it's impossible to get over there now from here because 696 is closed. But I drove right by this Ticonderoga. I think it was Ticonderoga, but it looked like a nice place. I had anyway, so we'll come up with that. No problem there. What do we have to say about this? Well, nothing. This is all correct now. I hope I have the right slide finally. Somebody double check this.
Oh,
Does it look okay? I think it's right. Okay. Um, so I mean, this is the antenna that we want.
oh,
I I need to get pricing, which I was supposed to do like a week ago, and I have to apologize. It's been hectic around here. I just haven't. I did reach out to them. I sent them an email, but I never got a response. And this is going to be a phone call, I think. So, and they're on Eastern time, this company, so I'll find out. But John, have you not I just heard your reaction like this is the first time you're seeing this. Is this really the first time you're seeing this?
I, it, I, I don't have it in my records, that's for sure.
Oh boy.
No,
Oh,
it's been back and forth enough that and strong feelings about the antenna, so I kind of backed away from it, Joe, because I know you were kind of spearheading it, and
okay.
I just, yeah,
I
the
mean,
selection of the antenna, I kind of, I have opinions, but um, I sure think we need a cell wave class antenna.
yeah,
I agree with you
yeah.
there.
I think
Yeah, so
we would like to give the next generation what we got. In other words, something that'll last 30 years.
right, I agree with you. Yeah, I'd like something that'll.
I'd rather spend time working on the voter than working on the antenna. So let's just do it right and get it done. Okay.
Yeah, I got issues with the voter, but I just not now. Okay.
That's such a fun you know what? That's why I joined the club and I never got to opportunity. All right, so this is it. I just apologize. I know I should be further along. All right, so we saw. Oh, John, were you at the member meeting?
No.
I showed this. So let me just show you this. So this is that experiment that you did, and if you notice, where's my pointer? Doesn't matter. Anyway, here you are. Here's Scout Park, and as long as we're going to be in Scout Park on field day, maybe we want to think about this. And the reason I'm showing you this is the DART, this is the east site, and this is the south site. And this is exactly if you're from Scout Park, believe it or not. And I think you pointed this out.
Yeah.
Uh, and you see this other little thing right here? You know what that is? I didn't realize it, but that's where we used to do our classes, our extra classes. It's the school, anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah, so I thought if we had a signal coming from around there, it'd be nice for balancing the voter.
well,
Uh,
maybe, yeah, yeah,
It'd also be nice if we could have different power levels on the tone, broadcast the tone from the center and, have a 5 watt, 10 watt. You could see the different noise levels. But it
yeah.
never got around to it. Sorry.
All right. Well, so that's something. And then this is that test that
Yeah,
we're,
that's the one.
yeah, yeah. So lots to do there. Lots to do there. Um,
Yeah.
and you'll remember this. We don't have to go through this all right now. These are, oh, so okay. This is what we're replacing and so on and so forth. So if you have any questions, let me know. But this might be something we might want to figure out.
Yeah, I in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that what's it called? Fox hunting. We talk about getting a little fox hunting thing. Well, that would be the same kind of thing you could put at the center.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I have put it isn't there a 2 meter antenna on the top of like well, we want to do this before field day, I guess, but if we don't, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? Isn't there a 2 meter vertical on top of Bob's tower?
No, he brings a separate stand
Oh,
for
that's
that.
right.
A
That's right.
2 meter antenna with a pole.
There's something up there that's UHF or
Oh
VHF.
yeah, we do a 6 meter Yagi and
Okay,
sometimes a
yeah.
2 meter, but we
Okay.
we didn't do the 2 meter last year.
Well, maybe if we put it omnidirectional up there this year on that tower, you can do this experiment.
If you're doing weak signal VHF, you don't want vertical polarization.
Yeah.
No, what we're trying to do, here's what we're trying to do, and John, keep me honest here, but we want to put out a signal in the center that's equidistant from all the points, assuming, under the assumption, of course, it depends on the geography, but that's only really 5 miles. But and then see the response of these three receivers, the main receiver, the east receiver, and the south receiver. The idea is that all the noise floors need to be equal so that the voter makes better decisions. In addition to that, I know John's working on a project using an Arduino, I think, or Raspberry Pi or one of those things, where ideally it does the decision making and we just use the existing hardware for the voter to do the switching because that works perfectly fine. It's a good switcher. It just doesn't make very good decisions. So that's where this project happens to be, and this is one of the things that would help line up yeah, so all the noise floors from the three receivers are the same. I think that would be certainly a giant leap for mankind if we were able to do that. And like you can see here, we did this, I can't even remember, a while ago.
Couple
Or
years
John
now,
did
I
this,
think.
right? Yeah. So, oh, well, since we had the airport site, look at that. So I don't remember when but anyway, it was something like that. And then we need a game plan. Again, another great project, but no time. Okay, finally, we just talked about this really for the most part. Online store, it'd be great. But again, we need people to help us. These are the things we have in stock right now, by the way, just so everybody knows. We have this half-wave rectifier tube that was, I think, Bob brought it to the vintage show, and it came from, I believe, Ken or
Ken.
something.
Ken. Yeah.
I
88.
don't know. I would want to sell this. Maybe I'll buy it. I think it's the
It's
coolest thing ever.
that base is an old Edison base. I can't remember the number.
How about a CE203?
Well,
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, isn't it incredible? I think this is something this should be made into some kind of a thing you put on somebody's desk, kind of a thing or something. Anyway, we
Or
also
a trophy.
have a what?
A
All right,
trophy.
a trophy, yes. Oh, would that be a great trophy, huh? Oh my God. All right. We have this in stock. And I just realized not too long ago, I have this exact same phone system, or I did. But anyway, so we have that we're trying to sell. We have this that somebody wanted to buy, and I brought it to the meeting, but that somebody, I don't know, wasn't at the meeting. So that was that. That's a land mobile thing with a headset. And we talked about this already. So somebody's going to reach out to Marv, I think, and a figment of my imagination, but a great possibility. But again, we just don't have the manpower. Okay, our goals are pretty much the same as they've been for some time.
Is Aaron still a member?
Aaron,
Aaron
it's
Tobin.
Aaron.
I think so.
W8
W8 VIP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he
I
is.
would really like to see, and I know I mentioned this before, another that Carhartt jacket like you and me have, and if you Bob, you got one, I think. But I would really like to see that offered again.
Okay.
Because mine doesn't go around.
I'd love one of those.
Mine does not go around my belly anymore.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
so Aaron definitely has the files from the embroidery company.
Yeah, he's got the
he
connections.
he said that he had them give him the files on a CD so that like he could relatively easily have them reset up the machines to do it.
And that I talked to Aaron a few months ago, and that guy still has all the files, so there'd be no setup, no extra setup charge. Other than the original, to embroider the jackets, but he already has all the files he needs.
Yeah, and I know that he knew someone who worked for Carhartt who was able to like give him a little bit of a discount because we were a nonprofit.
Right.
And so that he could get if he ordered a certain number of jackets, he could get them a little bit cheaper. He can't discount too much, but
I would really like another Carhartt. I know I'm moaning. I whine about it all the time, but I would really, really like one.
It looks terrific, especially in the pictures when we take photographs and stuff. I love it. The more the merrier here.
It's all embroidered. Right. It's not just glued on patches or anything.
Right.
Embroidered.
It's a beautiful piece of tapestry. Well, not tapestry. What do you call it? What do they?
Embroidery.
Embroidery. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Anyway. So
I see I see an old email from January 2019. He was talking to R. Crawford at Carhartt.com. That was the person he contacted to get the discount for them. Okay.
You know what? I'll. Do you talk to him, Reuben? Because I'll send him an email.
Once in a while, I see him and talk to him.
So the three of us. So I'll copy you. I'll send him an email tomorrow, and we'll find out. I mean.
I know that his membership had expired, and he said he would renew it, but I don't know if he ever did. So
yeah, but he's like part of the furniture almost. You know what I mean? A personality. He's a big personality. That guy.
Yes.
So, yeah, we want him. All right, next. All right, so that's it. That's all I have. All right, so I will go through the and thank you, John, WA2OY, for the AI remembering to do that. And we'll get that out to everybody. And so our next so the big elephant in the room is the presentation, I guess. And to be honest with you, I think the presentation on our whole electrical distribution system for field day would be a cool thing too, maybe.
Now, you want the board meeting to be public, right?
But I'd rather if Reuben could. I mean, Reuben, I'll do the slides if you want to. Whatever. I know.
I
You.
need to find time to put together a presentation about this. Let's see. I have what, a week and a half or so. I have
Hey, I got a point, Joe.
2
Yeah.
weeks.
I'm looking April, then May's the election.
Yeah, we do
Yeah.
need to do nominations. That also has to be on the agenda.
We'll have to, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
At the
See that?
meeting.
Thank
Looking
you.
for volunteers, a few a few volunteers.
Oh wow. Yeah. All right. What was I?
And Joe, you want the board
Yeah.
meeting to be public, right? On YouTube?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Although I'd like to look at it first
Yeah.
and take out like all the, irrelevant parts. That
Okay.
way people will sit through the whole thing. Because I have found that it's for every 30 minutes, you can knock it down to like almost 20 minutes, just taking out the pauses and things like that. And
Right.
anyway.
I'll get it over to you right away.
Good, thank you. All right. What was I saying? I think we're done.
I think we're done.
I think we're done. What do you think of my drawings? I'm so proud of myself. I'm doing animation. That's what I'm studying. And so this is a still picture, but I'm working on building a shed of all things. So very interesting stuff, I have to say. All right.
Go.
But we need to get the vendors going, and again, that's on me, and I will work on that. All right, anything else here? If not, hold on.
Okay.
I have a slide for this. Hold on.
There you go.
Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much for your time and everything, and we'll be in touch. And I think we're gonna have a good a good month this month. So it's gonna be a good time ahead. Anyway, all right. Thank you.